What is up guys, Karataga here, and today I'm here with another Digimon deck profile. Today we'll be going over the Belphemon deck, which is a very meta viable deck that is also very budget friendly. So if you guys are looking to play a competitive purple deck that has a good chance of topping, Belphemon is definitely a deck for you guys. So without further ado, let's get right into their profile. Today we are going to be running 5 Digitamas. We'll talk about why we're running 5 later, but we're running 4 of the Belphemon and 1 of the new Capridimon. So 5 Digitamas in total. There's a way to utilize this without actually digivolving on top of them. So that's very unique. Alright, next for the level 6s, we're running 4 Belphemon Rage Mode. This card is amazing. At the beginning of your main phase, you can delete everything that's level 5 or below. And afterwards, if you have 6 or less cards in your hand, this card gets plus 2,000 power and plus 1 security check. So obviously, being able to pop everything level 5 or below just by starting your turn is a very scary thing. But once per turn, at the end of this card's attack, you can also delete one of your Digimon to unsuspend it, which lets you go for another attack. And if you guys didn't know, he also has a security check plus 1, and he's also swinging for 17k. So he's a beast. No pun intended. But yeah, that's Belphemon for you. Obviously, the deck is pretty straightforward. You just find a way to get your Belphemon out, and then you try to just slam your opponent's face in. And if they don't have an out to him, then GG. So next we're going to be running 4 of the Belphemon Sleep Mode. Sleep Mode is the card that you want to be in when you're on your opponent's turn. So on evolution or when digivolving, on digivolving or on play, by placing 1 Belphemon Rage Mode from your trash at the top of this card's Digivolution source, this card can't attack and isn't affected by your opponent's effects until the end of your opponent's turn. And then second effect is during your opponent's turn, when your opponent Digimon attacks, by trashing 2 cards from your hand, you can end that attack. So keep in mind this is once per turn, but it is good enough that this card it's pretty indestructible for the most part. But if your opponent tries hard enough, they can get over it. But it's pretty good for stalling and just getting your win con out. And also your Belphemon's inherit skill is end of opponent's turn. If this card is the Belphemon Sleep Mode, you can trash a top card to this card. So basically, you turn into the Rage Mode at the end of your opponent's turn. So then you can get ready for his main phase effect. So it's definitely a really annoying card to deal with, but it's obviously really strong when you're using it. Next, we are going to be running 2 of the Nidhoggmon from BT-13. When this card's trashed from your hand, you get a plus 1 memory. This card is here as kind of like a pseudo hand trap when you are in your sleep mode. If you discard this, you get 1 memory, so there's a chance that you can end your opponent's turn earlier. And yeah, that's the main purpose of the cards in here. But when it's digivolving, you can also trash a card from your hand to delete one opponent's level 4 or lower Digimon, which might come in handy sometimes, but most often not. You're going to be using it for the discard. Next, for the level 5s, we're running 4 Gizmon XT. So Gizmon is here. When you play this card by deleting one of your level 4 Digimon, reduce the cost by 6. And then this card also has blocker. And then this card also has on play, you can play a Akihiro Kurata from your trash without paying the memory cost, which is really good. Next is this card can't digivolve, so you can't digivolve this into a Belphemon, but that's okay. You can use it to. You can use your Kurata to delete this and then hardcast your Belphemon. Anyway, this deletion effect is when this card is deleted, you can play a Proto Gizmon from your trash without paying its memory cost. So there's a lot of effects going on with this card, but he is pretty key for the deck, and so that's why I maxed him out. Just because being able to have him or being able to delete him with Kurata to play your Belphemon. He's obviously the most expensive Gizmon, which would boost the most cost. So that's why we're running for this one. Next, we're also running 4 Astamons. Astamon has an on-play and on-evolution effect. So by deleting one of your other purple Digimon, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Belphemon in your hand without paying the Digivolution cost. So it's really good as well. And during your opponent's turn, for the inherit skill, during your opponent's turn, once per turn, when this card is trashed from your hand, when a card is trashed from your hand, sorry, you can play a level 4 or lower Digimon from your hand without paying its cost. So you can use it to toolbox your level 3s or 4s. So it's pretty good for that. It also combos really well with your Belphemon Sleep Mode. Next, for the level 4s, we're running 4 of the Gizmon AT, which lets you draw 2 on play, and then you can trash 2 cards from your hand. And this card also can't evolve, so you know that's kind of unfortunate, but that's okay. And then on deletion, by placing 2 cards with Gizmon in their name from your trash to the bottom of your deck, you can play a Gizmon XT from your trash without paying a tournament cost. So pretty good. Next, we are going to be running 4 of the Eismon Scatter Mode. This card just helps you dig through your deck really fast, and it's also 4 cost on play, so it's not that bad if you're bricking. So we're running 4 of those, and we're also running 1 Eismon, the one that is limited to 1, because when this card is discarded, you can play this card for free. So really good for that. Next, we're running 4 Gabumon. This card is just to help you expedite your trashing of your hand, just because a lot of your combo pieces you want in your trash. So if you have this in the inherit source with your Eismon, it's a really good way to just dig through your deck and set up for your win con. Next, we're going to be running 4 of the Gizmon, Proto Gizmon. So when you play this card, you can, by discarding a level 2 Digimon in your breeding area, you can reduce the play cost by 2, so you can play it for 1 pretty much. And then this card can Digivolve, same with all the other Gizmons. And then on deletion, by placing 2 cards with Gizmon in its name from your trash to the bottom of your deck in any order, you can play a Gizmon AT without paying its cost. So the general idea for these Gizmons is just keep deleting them so then they can go up, and you can have a loop, which is pretty good. Next, we're running 4 of the Askomon. So on play, you can draw a card and discard a card. This card just help you expedite your trashing, and then it also has an inherit skill, which is at the end of your opponent's turn. You can draw a card and discard a card. So mainly, this card is kind of flexible. You can, if you don't want to run this card, you can run Gazemon and Psychomons instead. But thematically, I just like to run this card, and it also helps sometimes. So running 4 of these. Another card that I really like running is the Impmon from BT-6. So on play, you can discard a card, and then you can grab a card with 7 Demon Lords back to your hand. So your Belphemons are Demon Lords, so if these cards are stuck in your hand or you want to recycle them, this card is here for that. So we're running 2 Impmons, and we're also running 4 of the Tamers, which is Akihiro Kurata. So this card lets you play a Belphemon in his name, and then if you want, while you do that, you can delete one of your Gizmons, and then you can reduce the cost of your Belphemon by the cost of the Gizmons. At the end of an opponent's turn, once per turn, you can draw a card and trash 1 card from your hand, and then by placing 1 Tamer under one of your Digimon with Belphemon in its name, you can delete one of your opponent's level 6 Digimon. So very anime accurate. So it's pretty good. And last but not least, let's go over the options. So we're running 1 Call to the Dark just to recycle. Really good for that. We're also running 2 of the, what is this card called? This card is called Underworld's Call. Underworld's Call will let you get effects when it's discarded, which just lets you draw 1, and then during the main effect is to pop a Otherworld's Call's main effect is to play a level 4 Digimon from your trash without paying its cost, which is good because your Gizmons, if you have them and you want to play them, you can use this to do that. And of course, last but not least, we're running 2 of the purple memory boosts just to help you search through your deck. So overall, that's the main deck. It's a really fun deck to play and it's really budget friendly. Obviously, the ratios for the level 3s are actually really flexible, so if you want to run something a little bit more like gatey, that's definitely up to you. But that is pretty much it for this deck, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys want to support the channel, feel free to use the affiliates down below. But this is Karataku, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!